though. There's still some great play that Neon Esports can make here in game one to try and get that one game advantage to get going their way. And Execration, I mean, you call them gatekeepers earlier, John. I know the reason why they keep getting knocked out early in every tournament. I saw it in Japan. I bring this up every time. They stay up all night talking garbage. That's why they're not winning these games, Jonathan. I'm exposing them. I'm exposing them. You guys kept me up all night. Right outside my hotel room, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what we do. That's what we do. You know, my first experience going into Singapore, my taxi driver instantly asked me, it's like, oh, where are you from? It's like, from the Philippines. Oh, Filipinos, you know, you guys are so loud. Over at Orchard Road, it's like a bunch of birds chirping. I'm like, well, that's not the nicest thing to say, but it's not false.
No. Did he lie, though? Is the question.
He wasn't.
Ken?
He wasn't lying.
Flame Break's going to land on Ken, but he's by the tier 1 tower, so they're not going to go for the dive in. Yeah, it seems like it should be perhaps a 2-for-2 trade, because they've kind of left the bot bounty alone. Raging Potato will grab that. They'll go for a fight over the top, but they'll end up losing it, in fact, so it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade in favor of Neon Esports. Happy days for Neon. A very nice start for themselves, just a bit of a net worth boost. And why don't we start off with the top lane while we're here, shall we? You've got Shanks and, of course, Tino up against Castaway and Fortune Soul. Castaway, I believe, John, you already kind of pointed out he was from South Africa. The first African player ever to be in the DPC, apparently, as well. So there you go. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. And he's been in and out of Southeast Asia for a while. So he is recruited back onto Neon. I'm really keen to see how it shapes up here in this game, of course, with his performance. I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping up with the game because I'm lagging.
Wow.
The server was lagging a little bit, the game was lagging a bit, and my feed is a little bit choppy, so it's stabilizing the game. We can take a look at mid. This one's a little bit, you know, we don't get to see Bob Shaker. We have seen a lot of mid Shaker, you know, especially you and I in, say, North America. Dendy, MTD are the players that tend to do that. Keen to see how Bob does. So far, Ken is having the better time of it, though. Controlling the lane better, but Bob has a lot of denies. So it's not like he's falling too far behind here.
No. There's the thing with the Earthshaker mid, like, you hit a timing with this Enchant Totem, especially level 2, level 3, like, it starts to feel really annoying to play against. But Ken's going to try his best to harass him as much as possible before you hit that point where Enchant Totem just starts deleting people immediately. So, of course, bot lane, you saw Kishka, Raging Potato against Abeng and Palos. Seems like Palos is having a very free time on the Terrorblade, and I think as long as the Treant remains with the TB, I don't actually see you killing him. Like, Iron Shell spam isn't really proving to be very effective either from Raging down at this bottom, and yeah, I just don't really see the threat here for the TB.
Only at level 3 that threat comes out from Neon. Like, you've got Iron Shell plus Surge onto a Doom with Scorched Earth. That is a lot of magical damage that can come through, but it does take some EXP. So you're going to have to play that lane slower down bot.
Raging.
Going to have to wait out those spikes.
That Surge is going to be very important practically this whole game, or laning stage for Raging Potato. And Palos going to have another, like, 30 seconds of free farm with the Metamorphosis now, and yeah, I agree the level 3 timing of the Darkseid is very strong, but it feels like Palos is already getting enough where it may not feel like the level 3 makes the big difference. Like, if he's close to having a full Falcon Blade by the time level 3 comes around, I don't know if you really care anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough to shove him out. You're not really feeling that impact yet from Kishka, which can happen with a Doom if you don't find a good creep. They are getting a little bit aggressive top onto Fortune Soul. And this lane has also shaped up really well for Tino. He's managing to farm up. Normally we see Tino, when he goes off in a very slow start in his lane, Execration as a whole starts to feel really slow, but with this kind of start for the Visage, I don't see that happening. There's not much coming out from Castaway and Fortune Soul. They can try to get aggressive if they wanted to, but trying to burst down a Visage and a Batrider is risky at best.
Mid lane, Bob. Getting very low, still trying to fight. Ken will have Swash in 5, but Ken cannot afford to get hit again. Oh, he's going to be okay. Stick charges will keep him alive. He's looking for the Swash. He is looking for the Swash. And he will land it, but a nice Fairy Fire from Bob. He's going to be okay. But my god, it is getting rather close in the mid lane.
That it is. Bob doesn't have any bottle charges left either. He's still a few seconds away from the water runes respawning. Does look like his lane will is shoving into his favor just a little bit more. Although he has to be a bit cautious.
Yeah, one more hit with the enchant would do it. He doesn't have the mana for the shield crash and it's on cooldown anyway. They'll get their water runes. They'll be okay. Oh boy. Man. At any moment, it feels like somebody's dying in this mid lane. But they're both gonna, it seems, reset just a little bit at least.
Yeah, a little bit of a bounty rune refill as well for Ken. So going to have even more in his bottle. The bounty rune down south was picked up by Kishka, so denying that away from Bob. And this is one thing as well with these players, especially Bob. Palos is a player that does pop off, although
they are taking a lot of damage, but Palos should be the one to go down first, and does. Kishka does go down second, but now Beng's getting dived, though he does go for the lead seat, so Raging Potato is actually the one in danger. And Raging, oh,
okay,
that's enough to make you rage just a little bit. He ends up diving and dying on his own, but at least he got Palos, right? He didn't get any of the XP.
Yeah, no EXP for Palos does hurt. A lot of EXP coming out for Beng is not too bad on the train. Allows more laning presence here. I mean, it's all good because he's just going to be sitting back, not soaking anyway. So it equalizes a bit more. You know, you get more presence out with the armor being up.
Ken was a slither of HP away from dying. I think it was like 20 HP off. This mid lane is not getting any simpler here for Ken. So he is forced to salve himself up. You're very afraid for Ken once the Echo Slam's available because Bob's just going to be able to casually walk in and commit it. Bottom. Bit of a dive. Looks like they're okay, though. Not going to dive the tier 1 tower again.
Yeah, but you are getting way more presence out on Beng.
Way out of position. He's just going to die. And Raging just runs out of there. Shanks is going to go for a bit of a chase. Does have the Firefly, but no. Won't bother popping it. Just leaves him be. Could still have a look around for the Darks here, but Raging Potato has completely juked him out. Meanwhile, mid lane, Bob has dropped very low again, and Castaway has joined in now. But they are unable to get within range to really secure the kill. Or at least they do secure the power rune, though Bob now has a full bottle thanks to Beng, so they're going to race for it. Ken, does he make it? Not quite. Ken needs to leave. Bit of a missed opportunity that time around. He stuck for the creep wave instead of going right for the power rune, and he does end up paying for it now.
But Bob and the Invis looking up top with that slam.
He's got the Echo available, waiting for the right moment for Fortune Soul, and there it is. Bye-bye, Fortune Soul. Full Agimorph is not going to help your survivability in that instance.
No, certainly not. Just bursted down from the Echo damage. A little bit of a chase, trying to secure those 7-minute runes. Shank's not going to be able to secure it down up top. Might even pay with his life.
Yeah, the Iron Shell damage is still really hurting. They'll put the brambles down. Shanks gets hit by the tier 1 tower once. Kishka drains his mana, but it's still not enough damage. And Shanks is actually out of it. He's got a TP available, so he should be just fine. It's wasting quite a bit of time for his team, and he'll just deny himself off. He won't waste the TP.
Oh,
Raging now. In no mana for Surge, I don't believe. No, he does. He had the stick charges. He's okay. Kishka, though, chases on. Palos wasting quite a bit of time for this, but does secure the kill, so it's all worth it. Fisher is going to land onto Raging. He has his Surge in 7 seconds, but it's way too long to be able to get it off in time, so he has to die. And suddenly that long time that it took Palos to get those couple kills is worth it. It's so much golden XP out of that.
They forced that movement out on Neon, trying to match that aggressive execration, but all those support moves in that bot leaves a pretty big opening for Tino up top. Gives an opening for the rotation for Bob on mid. They're finding everything they want right now in excess, and 2K up, 5-2 start. They lose Beng to Kishka, but he's already done his job. A nice little pickup, but not the most meaningful in the world here for Neon to find. You still have issues. Like, you have to slow down Palos. He's going for the Dragonlance. He's going to be showing up with early Metamorphosis. And Bob is just allowed to kind of scale up into that blink timing with no contestation. Like, the mid-rotations just have not panned out to stop the Shaker.
Still grouping up down bottom, but Beng's going to rotate over. Living Armor makes it really hard to get through these towers. You don't really have a great pushing style of lineup from Neon. So the chances are these tier 1s are going to last quite a while for Execration. Bottom lane, dive going on now. Abeng does get caught. They can take down the Treant, though he does get the overgrowth off, but it's not going to matter. Bit of damage, but ultimately still goes down. Meanwhile, mid lane, Ken is being chased by Bob, who does have a double damage, but cannot break the gap. So this time around, Ken can be just fine. And it seems like they will try to pressure the bottom tier 1 another time. But again, I feel like with the Treant respawning in 5, chances are you aren't going to get that much damage. Then maybe they find Palos. Bramble's not going to land. Kishka, still level 4, so doesn't have anything to really lock him down. And now we have Tina rotating. So the Visage is here with the full Solar Crest up. More rotations coming. Bob's coming from the tree line and raging. Echoed immediately. Bob is not wasting any time though. Bob, very low on HP now. Does throw the Fisher out, blocking in Ken for a moment, though Ken is still chasing him down. But look at the Fisher. Look at the dance from Bob. He is not going to die. He actually makes it out of this. And Neon, they will get nothing.
It's not Knuff, Mike. It's not that Knuff coming out from Ken. It's not able to land it in. They might find some follow-up here.
He is just Ken after all, John. He'll get chased down. Ken in trouble. Ken going for a run. He might just make it. Meanwhile, Castaway denies himself to a neutral camp, so he's also going to just deny a bunch of gold away from Bob. How many Pinoys do you reckon watched the Barbie movie, John? How many of them understood that reference?
There were huge lines. There were huge lines, Mike.
Okay.
Like, I can attest to this.
Raging?
As Raging.
Yeah. He's almost... he's going to get the surge off. Palos not willing to pop the meta, which is fair enough, I suppose. He doesn't really need it.
Yeah, doesn't have Sunder value point here as well.
Uh-oh, he just leveled up. He now has it.
Ooh.
Beautiful timing. In fact, Bob jumping in. Fisher's gonna land. Ken, run! He's okay.
It's Knuff. I'm never gonna let go of that. That is gonna be there the entire time we have Ken.
I'm just gonna make it clear I have not watched the movie, ladies and gentlemen. Alright? I just listened to the damn Ken song. That's all I know.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
I'm sure Ken was really enjoying himself with that one as well. And, well, Execration are enjoying themselves right now, too. They had a free lane for Tino. They clear out top and mid. They clear out bot. All tier 1's gone. While their own tier 1s on Execration are healthy with that Treant Protector. Now rotation top through the gate.
Yeah, Shanks will somehow survive, and now Fortune Soul's the one that's being chased down. He's already got the Strength Morph, but he is not really that tanky. Not when he's surrounded by the familiars of Tino. With an overgrowth to lock him down, he's just dead.
It just falls. These Gaven voice lines as well.
Oh, they're great.
Always get me.
Great.
They're amazing. Glad to see them being utilized at last by a team. I don't think we've seen too much of it in our time in NA, Mike, but they do pop out here. And Execration are popping off. Oh, Bob!
Oh,
what
he's
a
okay.
slam on nothing.
Yeah, he slammed that ground real hard. You showed him, Bob. Well done.
Yeah, that's it's fine. He's testing his buttons, making sure the X Slam works. And he finds out it does work. Just didn't have any heroes around, so it's all good. No, bit keen. You know, that is how Bob is. Going back to that point, I remember a story from, what was it? Another tournament. Oh, it's Palos before that.
Yeah, Doom committed. Palos needs some help ASAP. Has to go back through the wall, but here comes Bob.
If he had
Problem is anyone going to deny it off? Yeah, if he had Slam, that would have been a huge fight for them. Somehow, you do... Oh, nice deny. He runs back towards the gates, and Tino is waiting to get the deny off. Raging now, in danger, slowed up by the lead seed, is going to drop. And I thought to myself for a moment, can this TB survive? But the answer was indefinitely no. He was on 10 HP before that deny came out.
Yeah, just good read round from Tino, and this Visage is a massive issue. With the drums and Solar Crest up, these familiars just lock onto you and machine gun you down. Really good move out from Execration, finding some punishment. Not the best thing in the world for Palos, but doesn't really lose too much for it. And, you know, just going back to Bob a little bit, this goes back to how he plays. There's a mid 1v1 matchup they had for a tiebreaker, And before he even won, he was already standing up and clapping. And that's just how Bob is. He's the noisiest of the bunch, Mike.
No kidding.
He's the guy who loves to pop off.
I know personally. I know it from my personal experiences, trust me.
I love Bob.
Does he still have the braces?
I think he does. They have the braces?
Oh, that was Palos, wasn't it? That was Palos. Excuse me.
Yeah, it was Palos. Good old Palos. How dare you?
That's a cultural thing, isn't it? I heard young people out there like to have braces on, like it's a fashion statement these days.
It's not a fashion statement. I think Filipinos are just in general a little bit more conscious about their appearances. That's the thing I get. Like if your teeth are just slightly misaligned, your parents will be like, "No, time for braces. You're having it."
It's not a bad thing.
You're getting braces. It's not. It's not. It is certainly just a little bit more prevalent in the Philippines more than anywhere else.
I told my parents I had bad teeth when I was a kid, John. They told me, "Don't worry about it. Your adult teeth will fix it." Why would I pay to have your teeth fixed when you can just, get these ones out, get the new ones in? It didn't fix it, by the way. Spoiler alert, Jonathan. I know I have a perfect smile.
Too bad, Mike. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to stare at me in the mirror every day, Jonathan. So, with all due respect.
Thank God for that. Thank God for that, Mikey. It's one of the things I'm grateful for. Smoke out, Neon could have themselves a nice juicy Bob pickup.
Oh, he's got the echo now, and he's just going to commit it. He's got the damage. He's got the damage. Never mind. Doom out. They've got Tina. So this will be the trade. They'll accept the Visage for their Morphling, but it's nowhere near really worth. Like, you can make the argument there's a high net worth hero going down for Neon Esports, but you are relying on Fortune Soul to carry you through this game. Like, nobody else is carrying this game but this Morphling.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on that morph. I mean, there's an argument, again, that this Vac Wall, eventual Ags from Kishka can kind of carry you through as well. But that support Doom is just, it's not having the best ramp up. You're going to go for Blink. You don't have Midas. You don't have Max Out Devour. So it's a slower pace to hit that timing. And for Execration, I mean, in comparison, Palos is just free farming, no contest, no pressure coming out onto the Terrorblade. They're forcing all this movement across the river as well for Exe, so securing their farm here for the Terrorblade even more. Starting to collapse onto mid once more here.
Oh, no power rune. It's going to be down at bottom, so Bang finds himself a haste if he wants to take it. He'll stand guard for now, giving Bob the opportunity, but the chase is on, but it is a haste route. He gets rooted though. He ran right into it, but a nice overgrowth is going to buy a bit of time for Bob. Bob, the Curse Crown, is it going to be enough? Bob still alive. Bob still running, but does finally go down. My God. How much work did that take? Raging? Oh, there's more value. Oh, they get the root. He does mech up. The Centaur helps out with the stun. So the neutral creep's giving Raging Potato a second chance at life, but a Bang is still chasing them down. Wanting more. Surely gets punished. But Tina will join the fray. Force out the wall usage from Raging. Maybe they can look at Palos. His metamorphosis is almost over. But it seems like Palos, he's going to back off at the right time and just take over the Dire Triangle instead.
It's some more farm going. You've got Bob back up with the slam ready to go. So this team fight could go southbound for Neon if they're not careful. I think all they have to do now is just keep using the space for Fortune Soul, keep farming up. When you do have your ultimates back up, you can tie in this, say, big Rolling Thunder, Vac Wall, plus 1 Doom. That's where your team fight can kick in. For now, just be patient. I think that's really key for Neon's draft. Just a lot more patience tied into these cooldowns, whereas for Execration, it's a lot more run and gun. Heck, they're even getting room out for Shanks to clear out his own Ancient stack. He's had the Blink on the Bat Rider. He's going to have his Force Staff. It's going to be easier to reposition someone out of these fights and just isolate them, get the easy pickoff. 10-6, 5K lead for Exe still standing. They've kind of let it off the gas just a little bit. You know, they're not playing too far into the river, but they are really efficient across the map. Still, Neon, all those big cooldowns are off except for the wall, so they'll go for a smoke play here.
Yeah, they will. Into the mid lane they go. Bob not going to find a power rune for himself, sadly. It's going to be Ken who bottles up a shield rune on his end of things, and they're heading down towards the bottom.
Yes.
They do have a very spicy target in Palos around that southern area of the map, but Palos seems to realize they're around here because he does go through the twin gates. Makes it to the other end where he'll join up with Tino. Because Neon can go through those exact same twin gates and will realize the TB was around, but they kind of reveal their smoke by devouring the neutral creep, though perhaps Palos didn't notice because Palos stuck around. Can they deny him again? Surely not. A bang is waiting, but Palos is gonna drop. Huge pick off now for Neon. Raging. And Vacuum is up, does have the wall as well, but the lasso is going to hold him down, and it seems like no, but now Raging buying a bit more time, but it's not enough. Shanks is gone as well. Another one to fall here for Execration. Chase is on though, a bang at least going to find Castaway, though Castaway will make it out as now Fortune Soul looking for the chase onto a bang. He might have a third target. They'll take down the tree. Tino's sticking around. Tino's trying to go after Kishka, but does need to leave. Enough is enough. They've given 3 for 1. Now Bob is still holding on to Echo. He's waiting for the 5-man. It's your classic pub Earthshaker. He's waiting for everyone to stack up.
He had some pretty rough angles. He was trying to flank around, but Abeng dies a little bit too fast for him to catch up. Good punishment coming out from Neon. If you catch Palos off like that, a lot of the DPS coming out here for Exa is taken out. Palos has to be a little bit more cautious. Is going into the Scotty. I wouldn't fault him for going for something like the Lincolns this game, just to have some safe protection, because that is pretty much the big single target spell that you want to block off. And they only have like, what, 3 single target spells? So just having that safety net for the TB should be big. We'll see if Palos does decide to go that route for the more defensive build after this Scotty's up. Execration, no, I mean, they lose out, but they don't, it still feels, they're still in control. They're still 4K up. They've got Roche control on hand. And with a lot of those belts being popped, they're free to take it, no problems.
Why the hell not? Yeah, I suppose you could have the opportunity of trying to contest this, but probably have really no idea it's even happening. So Roshan is gone. I imagine the Aegis should go the way of Palos, and it will. They've got the Ags up on Tino, so he's got the Silent as the Grave available now on the Visage. And pings are already coming out towards the bottom lane. Seems like they want to try and pick off somebody and maybe try to force the tier 2 tower. You know, you really just can. Like, with the Metamorphosis up with the Aegis on top, Palos may decide to go for the Skadi first before he goes for those tier 2 towers, but he could probably afford to just get started if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
But he is about 300 gold away.
Yeah, that's fair. They could just wait. They could slowly poke us well with the illusions, not commit too hard. They've got the Ags coming out as well for good old Bob. So the fun will begin with the Enchant Totem flying around there. And that's where things can start to get a little bit silly with a Shaker, if it hasn't been silly already. Tower will still fall, just the slight push coming out from Exe. And a Scotty fully up from Palos. High ground definitely open, but with 2 tier 2 still standing, it does feel like Exe can stand to gain by just taking more of the map away. Like, this mid tier 2 shouldn't be too hard to burst down either. Bob, though, does find himself the Shield Rune, so he can go for some silly plays if he wanted to. But they'll go for the Tormentor instead while Bob is away.
Well, there goes that Tormentor. Shanks will pick up the shards for himself now as the Bat Rider.
You know what, Mike? There's one thing in my mind. Why is Bob's your uncle an idiom?
What?
Yeah, right? Yeah, and then blah, 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 and Bob's your uncle. It's like, why is that a saying?
Well, why is Bob
Bob's
your uncle saying?
Uncle. Yeah.
What the saying's meant to mean is it's simple, you know? Like, Bob's your uncle. It's a simple, you know?
I don't have an Uncle Bob, so it's not simple for me, you know?
I know it's not simple for you, but the thing about it, Bob's a very simple name, isn't it, Jonathan? Right?
I suppose.
So by saying Bob's your uncle, it's implying that, you know, simple. It's not complicated.
Why not simple for my simple mind, you know?
They could have used John's your uncle. John's a simple name too.
There. Yeah, that's much more common, I think, overall.
But it's not as funny. Doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
That's true. I will accept that. Thank you for clarifying. I was just thinking about that, looking at Bob. I'm like, he's not my uncle.
Are you sure, John? Are you sure?
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I have an Uncle Bobby.
Do you?
Yeah, but not a Bob.
Kishka?
Kishka?
What do you think Bobby's short, or what do you think Bob's short for, John? Kishka's gonna go down.
Robert?
Well, that is true, actually. You are correct in saying that. I just remembered it was actually short for Robert.
What are you gonna say? What do you think it was?
Oh, what? Shut up, John. Who has Uncle Bobby but not an Uncle Bob? Bob?
I don't know. I don't even know my...
He's your uncle now, John.
Name, actually.
There's Ken. He'll run out of there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So if I called your Uncle Bob, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be happy. You're telling me he'd correct me.
See, it's his nickname, but his actual name is not even connected to, like, Bob. I think his actual name was Expedito.
You think?
So I don't know how that... Yeah, I can't... It's like old school names, man. From like a generation behind.
Fortune Soul's in huge trouble here. He has no idea. With the Silent as the Grave, he sees nothing. He'll have... Oh, he does have the chance to strength morph at least. They don't wait. Bob wasn't close enough.
Yeah, a little bit too quick. The Silent as a Grave was fading out for Tino. So probably didn't have too much time to kind of think about that opportunity. But the map has been cleared out. Mid-tier 2 gone. One last tier 2 left for Execration to make their move on. Age is still up for about a minute. So Palos is he's still fairly safe. Not too much to threaten. The one thing for Neon right now is that farm flow for Fortune Soul is pretty good. Second in net worth, not too far, but well, quite a fair bit behind Palos, but considering the game state, not in a bad position with the Scotty slowly being formed up here. So the spikes are still lined up here for our morph. And Execration, they've been playing a lot safer with the Aegis. You know, they're not going too wild. Once Aegis expires, it's going to be a massive opening for the side of Neon, though. Without worrying about that secondary life in Terrorblade. We've seen this happen to Palos. Still no defensive items up. If he's caught off, then he's just dead. Like one big doom and Palos is pretty much gone.
So what was your uncle's name? I didn't catch it.
My uncle's name is Expedito. So
Expedito?
It's not even... Yeah, Expedito. It's not even linked to Bob or Bobby in any way. That's just his nickname, I guess. And I'm pretty sure...
No offense to your uncle, Don. I've got to ask. Where does Expedito come from? Okay.
It's an old school... You know, it's like very... Not archaic, but like old generation Filipino names. We had some really flowery... Not flowery. What's the word? It's not extravagant, you know, just fancy sounding names like Expedito. I can't think of them off the back of my head because, quite frankly, they are very rare.
It just
sounds
like a Justin Bieber
by my generation, everyone just gets American names like John, Nathan, John Nathaniel. In my class, it's funny. Well, there's nothing happening in this game. Don't worry, you guys. In my class, there was me, John Nathan. There was a guy named Nathan. And there's another guy named John Nathaniel. So, you know, we had a very fun time with that.
Thank you for that, Jonathan. Appreciate the lesson on your past, your school years.
Yeah, I'm getting it out there while nothing's happening, so someone listens to me for once, Mike.
Yeah. What'd you say, John? Yeah, nail.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've got the Ags on Ken. That should be enough to make a play.
It could be enough. We'll see. Neon, they're looking for a smoke attempt as 5, I believe. Lines have been drawn out from Execration. They're going to head towards the bottom lane. Neon, still waiting for this smoke. There we go. They'll pop the fired man. They're going to head towards the mid lane. Closest target to them right now is Shanks and the Batrider. Not quite the target they're looking for. They'll make the jump, though, it seems. Shanks is going to realize they are around now. He has a 4-staff available and does commit into the Firefly, but eventually they will get him. Ooh. The thing is, that is just a support Batrider.
Yeah, they had to pop a couple of spells. Vac is a pretty long cooldown, so they could kind of look for this opportunity here.
Jump in. This is a big target.
Good jump.
This is a big target. They've got the Terrorblade, but Palos has actually got the BKB. He'll be okay. Meanwhile, Ken going for a bit of a chase in the backside. Gets fished up by Bob, who locks him down, though he does get a swashbuckle away just in the nick of time. That tier 1 mid tower is still standing, by the way. So after all of that, the tier 1 does not go down, And now a Bang will just heal it up slowly but surely.
Yeah. And you've got to be able to commit. They dropped the Doom, they dropped the Rolling Thunder. Not the longest cooldown on the Pango ult, but Doom certainly hurts quite a fair bit. And that's Execration with an opening now. Metamorphosis is still ready, Slam's still ready, Lasso is still ready. They've got everything they need. They could set up for Roche. They did get Shank scouting out already, getting some vision down bot. If it is a south side spawn, it's a minute 20 away, so it will be a daytime spawn for sure. Neon seems to get the right read, also setting up to shove in bot, trying to get that tier 1 tower. They need us gone before that Roche happens.
Well, they're going to head over, Neon. They're hanging around the Twin Gates for now. Roshan's still 55 seconds away. EKB now officially available on Bob, so this Earthshake is going to be more of a pain in the ass to deal with. Here goes the tier 1 tower, finally going down at Fortune Soul. Pings are coming out though, like they seem like they want to try and head down towards bottom, but instead Execration are focused on the top tier 2. So just kind of accept the trade, it is still favorable for Execration in the end. Roshan's the big target, like the 20 seconds left for this respawn to happen.
Yeah. Again, Neon are in a good position to contest. Like, they take the tier 1, teleports to outposts is a lot slower. So they've got some good access here. Roche spawning in a few seconds. If they can find a big pickoff into that pit.
Oh, they found a Bang. A Bang's gonna go for a run, and he's actually made it, perhaps. I can't believe that. He just walks out.
Bails out. They've got the gem and Kishka, but he doesn't manage to chase through the tree line. So again, another bit of commitment out from Neon. That makes this Roche fight a little bit awkward. They'll spot the Roche, they'll go into it. But Execration, they're not positioned to contest either. Maybe Bang alone with a blink overgrowth might be enough for a steal play here.
I mean, do they even know what's happening? Like, that's the question, right? Like, nobody's reacted to this from Execration. They're just allowing it to happen for free. Yeah, they could have still probably made it in time with some TPs towards the bottom tier 2, but they choose to go through the Twin Gates instead. It's too late for that, so they'll decide better of it. Screw the Twin Gates. Get the hell out of there. Instead, top tier 3 tower is where they're pinging on Execration's end. Raging Potato, he's up top alone. Bob, yeah, just commits. Did he?
He did.
He did, right? He echoed the ground.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I saw that. I thought, oh, it must be new animation that I haven't seen yet.
Well, Bob's your uncle. Like,
yeah. Well, that is true.
Happen with your uncle sometimes.
His name is Bob, not Expedito. There we go. Palos. BKB up. Turn around. They've got Kishka down. Kishka's gone. Their fortress. Sunder. I don't know where that went on to. I think it was an illusion. Doesn't matter though. They're still okay. Ken. He was trying to chase the Visage, so the Visage is just perfectly blind as now they'll turn back on a Palos, so Palos is okay as well, but Fortune Soul's chasing him down. The Fortune Soul, he's getting quite low on HP himself. He might just lose the Aegis, though he's still running, still slowly walking his way out. Meanwhile, Bob, in a bit of danger now, completely out of mana, but is still able to just walk out of this. Somehow, Execration lose nothing for all of that.
Yeah. They don't manage to take care of the Aegis. They do find a tier 3 they were looking for. They force out some spell use from Neon, although Doom is still available. So at the least for Kishka, there's still some play that can happen here. You're still pretty happy on Execration's end. Like, you don't lose out, you force out the wall, you force out the roll, and nothing happens. Neon are still... excuse me. Neon are still in a fine position. With Aegis... excuse me.
That's all right.
Age is still up for 3 minutes. For some reason, you know, does this ever happen to you? Saliva goes in the wrong pipe, and it feels like your body's just not understanding what it has to do, but it gets sent to the wrong pipe and you just cough. Keeps happening to me.
Unfortunate, John. Kishka, oh, nice Doom.
Oh.
Nice Doom out. Vacuum there. BKB committed, though. This is going to make it hard to finish the job off. Like the Fisher just to ensure there's no Rolling Thunder follow-up, though Bob's now going to get hit by it. Bob, can he get himself out of this? He's got his own PKP, so he'll be okay. But now it's back onto the tier 1 tower. Bang's finally going to lose. Meanwhile, in the back, they found the Visage now. Tino's alone. The Tino should be dying. There is no help coming for Tino. In fact, oh my goodness, they found more. How have they found more? A ping goes down. Chase is on for Shanks now. Shanks, he's going to try and cut the creep wave. But it seems like he has accepted the fact that he is probably just dead. He'll go for the BKB TP out. No, he's going to make it. They actually don't have any way to get through it.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty big. I mean, you sacrifice one more support. They did commit the vac wall for Shanks, and they don't manage to catch him out. Cuts the creep wave mid, so they can't go for the tier 2s. It allows Execration to just stabilize. And that does buy some time for Neon to just wait out this next Doom coming out from Kishka. That's really your big tool. If you can just take Palace away from these fights again, it's massive. Palace has gone forward full MKB instead of opting for something like Lincoln. So no defense coming out from that Doom. Still a clear shot for Neon to kind of try to pop him down. They are clumping around for bot tier 2 instead. Can get that done really fast. At the very least, the familiars are there to slow down. And again, living armor is there. If you don't manage to fully commit, this tower will just heal back up. So they have to go all in here.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is
On the bottom T2 tower. Neon going to take it for free. They're trying to push the top tier, or the top racks, I should say. The T3 tower was already gone, so onto the racks they go.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Neon will have to respond to this.
Radiant's
Metamorphosis expiring in 50, excuse me, Aegis expiring in 50 seconds.
barracks are under attack.
That's problematic. Could be a very awkward high ground defense to come if the Aegis does expire at the wrong time. Execration, of course, will be timing this. Aghanim Scepter now also up on the Darkseid, don't forget, so you do have the normal punch officially available. 25 seconds on the Aegis timing as Shanks now gets the lasso. He's found himself a Doom. Kishka is not being jumped though. They're still afraid to go in for the jump, not seeing the Darkseid. So the lasso not going to amount to too much, and that appears to be about it.
Was unreal.
They won't really find... Well, they found the racks. They won't find another, but they still get away with the lane of barracks.
You're pretty happy about that right now in Exa. Just a bit of a hit and run. No massive commitments coming out. Slam still ready on Bob. I love his build. Went for the Octarine. So just way better uptime on the Echo Slam. And this is a build that's... It just feels so oppressive with how spammable Enchant Totem is, with how your talents play up into Enchant and Fissure. There's a lot he can get done for his team. This game does not simplify for Neon as time goes on. Again, this teamfight combination is still strong, but we're not seeing Kishka go into the Ags anytime soon. The Vac Waltz, Raging has been forced to use them to catch out heroes more than anything else. Not really being able to use that in a massive team fight. The clump ups just not presenting themselves from Execration here. So the commitment's harder to find for Neon. Execration, they might end up waiting for next Roche here, Mike. 2 minutes left until we see that respawn timer. Just need to repair their lanes. Already have a good time top, just naturally shoving in. But I need to get something done about maybe just mid and bot. Just equalize a little bit better. They will go for a smoke play though. Look for that pick off.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. They'll check the dire triangle first by the seams of it. See nothing there. Into the mid lane though, they just saw Ken. They'd love themselves a Pangolier. Riding right into them, they're gonna see the Dark Willow, but he does manage to get away just in the nick of time. Kishka in the meantime looking for a Doom target, but the lasso is gonna hold down the Doom. Nobody aiming him down yet though, because Kishka had the BKB going, but now they could turn right back around, locking a couple down, and now the Echo. Bob jumps right in. Kishka is gone. Two-man Fisher to boot. Neon still running. Instead, Raging Potato seems to be the big target, but he does get the back wall off in time. Problem is he cannot make it out of this. He's gone. Ken, he'll Lotus Orb to try and get away from the overgrowth, but will have to roll his way out. This team fight is not going to pan out in their favor. Bob's not done either. Bob wants more, but no, he does back up. Back to the racks. He'll wave them goodbye.
Those are the kills they need. You don't even care about Morphling. As long as you take care of the Doom and the Vac Wall, you've got that opening for the Siege. Mid goes, bot not too long for the World either.
Oh no, that's not the one you want to lose. Oh, that's not the one you want to lose. Bye-bye, Fortune Soul. No buyback. Onto the Dark Willow, cast away. Might want a holiday right now. Kishka. He's down. The game's over. GG is called. I mean, they do have one left, but it is just Ken.
He's Ken off.
Not this time, he's not gone. He even puts the full...